Hey there, we are going to be doing something a little different today. We are looking at Storyfold Wildwoods. So normally I'd unbox this and show you everything inside of it and then do a solo play separately. Well, not today, because to unbox this, there is a lot of stuff that would kind of spoil it. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically play this from the beginning. It's starting with the prologue. So I'm going to show you the prologue. It'll probably have spoilers if you're wanting to experience everything new. So if you don't want to experience anything, then you should probably not be watching a video about the game. And if this works out well and people enjoy this, I'll move on to the next one. But so basically, after the break, I'm going to open it up, kind of show you the stuff, and then we'll just jump into that prologue because there is no rule book to learn from. You learn from the prologue. Alrighty, so break time and then game time. So when you get the package, you're going to open it up. I've actually already did the punching out, but you're going to open it. And you're going to see you have a rules reference. It says right down here too, to learn how to play the game, open the storybook, the prologue, Call of the Wild, and follow the instructions on that page. Then this rules reference is more so going to just talk about the different types of cards, concepts. Once you learn how to play the game, then this walks you through all of that, and then you got the quick reference on the back. So then you're going to grab out your book. Like I said, I've already punched out everything. So as you can see, I haven't even opened up the cards. These cards I did. These are special cards that came with the Kickstarter. So I just kind of had them under here, under chapter 2, because that had room. So you see, didn't even open them. So we are going to be starting with the prologue. So I'll grab those cards out. Let's go ahead and grab the dice out. And then we do have all these other tokens that I'll snag out of here. And then what this tray is used for is this is how you're going to save from game to game. So we don't need that just yet. So we'll just close up the box and we are going to get started. So we have our prologue. We have all of our other stuff off to the side. We'll see where all this goes here in a minute. So designer, artwork, Storyfold, Wildwoods. Many moons ago, in a world of light and shadow, there was a girl named Luna. So let me go ahead and get that kind of situated here. I think I got to push it up a little bit because if I remember right, we're going to be playing cards underneath here and make sure I have enough room for that. All right, but they want us to open the prologue. What does this say? Return this card to the game box. When returning cards from the prologue to the game box, place them with this card. I'll just set those off to the side as returning to the play box. Prologue, Call of the Wild. Luma stood at the edge of the river, enjoying the crisp morning. The gentle sounds of flowing water calmed her as the sun's early rays warmed her face, and a light breeze caressed her hair like a playful hand. She savored the moment inside. Suddenly, a cold gust of wind sent a flurry of leaves past Luma. She watched as the swirling petals settled atop the water, forming a trail from her feet to the forest beyond the far bank. The leaves glowed with a soft, luminescent light, beckoning her to approach. Heart pounding, Luma knelt, hesitated, and then scooped a single leaf into her palm. A flash of light burst from her wrist. Luma's eyes widened as the world seemed to shift around her, and a vision arose from the depths of her mind. She saw a young woman and an infant giggling amongst the tall grass of a forest glen. Nearby, a large, majestic deer grazed peacefully until, suddenly, it raised its head sharply as if startled by some unseen danger. Then, as quickly as the vision appeared, it dispersed into shadow, leaving only an echo of distant howls. Gasping, Luna found herself back at the river, where a low, rumbling growl drew her attention to the powerful bear at her side. It nuzzled Luma's hand with gentle affection. "It was her again, Brahm," she whispered as her fingers stroked the aging bear's silvery white fur. The visions had begun several moons ago, each time leaving her more unsettled. Something seemed familiar about the visions, but she could not place her finger on what. For as long as Luma could remember, she had lived at the river's edge, caring for the creatures who came to drink its cool, clear water. In all that time, Brahm had been at her side, caring for her as she cared for the river. Any memories from a time before the river remained distant, impenetrable, much like the dark forest beyond. But now, something stirred in the shadows, like a festering wound spreading deep within the forest. Critters fled the woods in panic. The river had turned foul, and flowers in full bloom wilted overnight. More worrisome, Eek, their playful squirrel friend, had not returned from his latest trip into the forest. Luma looked to Brahm, who stared back in expectation. She could not wait any longer. The creatures are suffering, Luma thought, but she had never dared to cross the river before. So there's the story so far. So welcome to Storyfold Wildwoods. When you're ready, find the deck of cards that says prologue, where we have on the front, and read prologue card 1 to begin your journey. So return this card to the game box. Resetting the deck. Reset this deck. Use the card numbers found in the lower right corner of each card. All cards that start with P belong in this deck. Return the cards to this deck face up, card number side up in numerical order. This card, P40, is on the bottom and P1 is on the top. Prologue card 1. Do not shuffle. Unless instructed otherwise, return these cards to the game box after reading and resolve the instructions on each side. Flip this card. Welcome to Storyfold Wildwoods. In Wildwoods, you play as a young girl, Luma, and her bear companion, Brahm, who set out to heal the forest from a dark and mysterious shadow. The story of Wildwoods is experienced across 5 chapters. Each time you play, you will progress through scenes until you finish the chapter. This introductory chapter is the prologue, and it consists of 2 scenes, crossing the river and into the dark. The left and right panels of the storybook are known as your dashboard, and the pages you flip through form the scenes. Together, these will include all the information you need to play Wildwoods. Turn the storybook page to Scene 1, Crossing the River. The top page of each scene includes story text, instructions for setup, shadow effects, and the Luma prevails and the shadow prevails outcomes. First, read the story text for Crossing the River, then follow the setup instructions for the scene. Despite her apprehension, Luma followed Brahm as he lumbered toward the path of glowing leaves at the river's edge. With the vision still fresh in her mind, Luma couldn't help but think about the deer. It seemed so frightened. Fear began to well up from somewhere deep inside Luma, pressing against her heart. She reached for Brahm, grasping his fur tightly, as together they stepped into the water. So, scene setup. All the cards needed for this prologue chapter are included in the prologue deck. Be sure not to shuffle it, and follow the instructions on the cards closely to learn how to play. Each chapter will include its own deck of cards to be placed in the chapter space. Do we see a chapter? There's the chapter space. Place the prologue deck in the chapter space on the left dashboard. Draw prologue card 3. Throughout the prologue, you'll be instructed to take certain cards from this deck and place them on or around the storybook as indicated. Take the next card, the Luma card, and place it in the Luma space on the left dashboard so that the Luma and Brahm side is face up. Take the Brahm card and place it below the Brahm space on the left dashboard so that the Protect side is face up. Flip this card. So we took Luma and Brahm and put it on the Luma place. Take the Brahm card and place it below the Brahm space right there so that the Protect side is face up. Now, take the 4 action cards, Explore, Light, Help, and Heal, and place them face up below the storybook in the order shown below. So, Explore on the face up below the storybook. Oh, I'm assuming down here. Yep. So, Explore, Light, Help, and Heal. The 4 numbered spaces, 3 plus 4. So I guess I'm going to have to see those numbers. So let's kick this up a little bit right there. Just making sure you can see everything. There we go. And then we can put Brahm under there. So the main thing you're not seeing is that it just says 1 up there. All right. The 4 numbered spaces, 3 plus, 4 plus, 5 plus, and 6 plus, and the 3 blank spaces along the bottom of the storybook form the river. So these 3 blanks right there. The start of the river begins at the 3 plus space, and the end of the river is the space immediately to the right of the last card in the river. As you play, cards will move and slide frequently within the river. Read prologue card 4. Take the shadow card and place it in the shadow space right there on the left dashboard so that the lost side is face down. Lost side is face down. All right. Take the 2 Explore cards, Berries and Mud, and place them face down in the Explore space on the right dashboard in any order. So let's just go ahead and shuffle them up. There we go. Don't know what order they're in. They're in the Explore space. Take the 2 creature cards, Walvark and Cry, and place them face down in the creature space on the right dashboard with the Cry card on top. cry card on top, put them in the creature space. Take the crystal tokens, location markers, and stun tokens and place them in their corresponding spaces on the right dashboard. All right, that's done. Now we go on to prologue card 5. Instead of reaching all the way up here, we're just going to make that stack right there. Prologue card 5. Take the 5 8-sided dice and place them next to the used dice on the right dashboard. So 5 8-sided dice are going to go right here next to the used dice spot. Take the 10 and 12 dice remaining in the game box. The 10 remain in the game box. They are used in later chapters. You can earn these dice by helping the critters of the forest. For the prologue, we are starting with the reduced spirit. Take the spirit marker and place on the spirit track in the 4th space from the right as shown below. So 1, 2, 3, the 4th space. Finally, take the light and shadow markers and place them in their starting spaces on the Wildwoods track as shown below. So this one starts there, that one starts there. Read prologue card 6. We are now ready to begin playing. As Luma, you will play through scenes by exploring unique locations, healing corrupted creatures, helping various critters, and attempting to bring light back to the forest. Depending on the choices you make as you play, your journey through the Wildwoods will be made easier as you help restore the light, or more difficult as the shadow closes in. The top page of each scene describes the 2 ways in which a scene ends. Either Luma prevails or the shadow prevails. For this scene, Luma prevails once you have resolved the onward location. Let's get started. So that's up here. Luma prevails if you resolve the onward location. Travel to scene 2 into the dark. The shadow prevails if the shadow marker reaches the center of the Wildwoods track. Travel to scene 33 alone in the dark. Hopefully that doesn't happen in the prologue. Each turn consists of 2 phases, the Luma phase and the Shadow phase. During the Luma phase, you control Luma's actions. Each Luma phase begins by retrieving all dice from the used dice space and placing them in front of you. These are your available dice. The Luma phase continues by performing actions until you've used all of your available dice. The actions you can perform are represented by your 4 action cards: Explore, Light, Help, and Heal. Each action card has 2 abilities, a top ability and a bottom ability. We are going to focus on learning how to use the top abilities for now. To perform an action, you will first choose an action card and pull it towards you. Next, you will select either the top or bottom ability on the card and the target of your attempt. Finally, you will roll any number of your available dice and attempt to gain successes. Let's see how this works. For your first action, let's choose the Explore action card. Exploring the Wildwoods allows us to resolve Explore locations found in the scene. So it looks like those ones. So scenes contain both Explore locations and Help locations, distinguished by color and symbol. Some locations are connected by a line, requiring you to resolve them in order from left to right. Using the top ability of the Explore action card, we will attempt to resolve the Explore location Cross. The Explore location Cross requires 2 successes to resolve, represented by the number of colored dots. So the colored dots on Cross is how many successes we need. Read 9. All right. Since we need at least 2 successes to resolve the Cross location, let's choose 3 of your available dice to roll. I'm guessing I should have brought these over. Let's choose 3 of your available dice to roll and attempt to get 2 or more successes. Because your Explorer action card is currently in the 3+ space of the river, each die you roll needs a result of 3 or higher to count as 1 success. Throughout the prologue only, if you do not roll enough successes, you may roll again until you do. We will explain later what normally happens if you fail to roll enough successes. So 1, 2, 3. So we have our 3 dice. We shake them. We roll them. We have our 2 successes. We didn't need to reroll. I'm going to leave them out there. Flip this card. Hooray, you have rolled enough successes to resolve the Cross location. Place a location marker onto the Cross location to indicate it has been resolved. Locations with a location marker cannot be resolved again. When a location is resolved, immediately read and follow the location's text. The Cross location instructs us to draw story card 1. So take story card 1 from the prologue deck and flip it over to reveal the card. As you play, story cards will tell the story of Luma and her journey through the Wildwoods. Many cards also include an on-play effect that must be resolved immediately after you've drawn the card. So let's read prologue card 11. Let's go ahead and read this card first. Brahm entered the chilly water without hesitation. For Luma, the bracing cold was a stark reminder that the warmth and safety of home would soon be left behind. Brahm paused to glance at Luma. Then, with an encouraging snort, He pushed forward. Whatever awaited them on the other side, they would face it together. On play, draw one creature card, then read prologue card 11. Let's go ahead and kick this up there for now. And there's a story one, there's not. All right. The on-play effect of story card 1 instructs us to draw one creature card. Take the top creature card from the creature deck and flip it over to reveal the creature. A corrupted cry. Many creatures of the Wildwoods are under the influence of this shadow. These creatures will take away your spirit and disrupt your plans. When a creature card is drawn, immediately play it by resolving the on-play effect found on the creature card. The on-play effect for the cry tells us to place the card face up at the end of the river. So they come right there. Looks like we're about halfway through this deck. All right. To finish the action, first return all dice you rolled for this action to the used die space. Right there. Used dice. Then take the action card you used, the Explore card, and move it to the end of the river. Finally, slide all the cards in the river to the left so that there are no empty spaces between cards. Your river should look like the picture below. Like that. All right. We still have 2 available dice, so you can perform another action. This time, let's choose the Help action card and attempt to resolve the Untangle Help location, which requires only 1 success, as you can see by that little circle. Help locations allow you to ask the critters for the Wildwoods for assistance or even help them in return. Some locations, like Untangle, are not required for Luma to prevail, but provide additional rewards if resolved. So again, the little one thing. Begin by pulling the Help action card toward you. Your Help card is currently in the 4+ location on the river, which means each die you roll needs to be a 4 or higher to count as 1 success. Roll both of your remaining dice. Again, for the sake of the prologue, if you do not roll 1 or more successes, roll again until you do. I did get 1 success. Cool. You did it! Place a location marker on the Untangle location. The Untangle location's effect instructs us to gain 2 crystals. Crystals contain the gratitude of creatures and critters and can be used to aid additional successes to your rolls. When gaining crystals, take them from the crystal space and place each one on top of any of your 4 action cards. For now, let's choose to place both crystals on the Light action card. Until spent, crystals stay on and move with their action cards in the river. Let's finish this action by once again returning all rolled dice to the used dice space. Then take your chosen action card Help, move it to the end of the river. Finally, slide all cards in the river down there. This process is called cleaning up the river. Now that you've used all of your available dice, it's time to begin the shadow phase. During the shadow phase, the corrupted creatures of the Wildwoods attempt to drain you of your spirit and disrupt your plans. Watch out! Prologue card 15. The shadow phase begins by activating each creature in the river once, starting from left to right. Currently, there is 1 creature in your river, the Cry. When a creature is activated, it attacks. You will lose spirit equal to the amount shown on the creature's card. The Cry causes you to lose 1 spirit. Move your spirit marker 1 space to the right. There we go. If you are ever instructed to lose more spirit than you have remaining, you are overwhelmed by the shadow. When this happens, you must continue losing spirit from the start of the spirit track and then draw a shadow card. Shadow cards represent Luma's inner turmoil. If you are ever forced to draw the final shadow card, the shadow prevails. Again, that's the shadow cards. Finally, resolve the after activation effect. So after activation, move 1 space toward the start of the river. When a card enters the river, moves into a space that already contains a card, in this example, Heal, it forces that card to move 1 space to the right. So they just flip-flop. After each creature is activated, the shadow phase continues. Advance the shadow marker 1 space toward the center of the 1 space towards the center of the Wildwoods track. Some spaces on the track have unique icons, the little eye symbol right up there, that trigger various shadow effects, which are described in the scene setup. Up here, shadow effects is draw 1 creature card. After advancing the shadow marker, look above its space for any shadow effects icons. For this shadow effect, you are instructed to draw 1 creature card. Draw the remaining creature card and resolve its on-play effect by placing it in the 6+ location, which moves the Explore and Help cards back 1. There we go. After advancing the shadow marker and resolving any shadow effects, the shadow phase ends. It's time to begin another Luma phase. So if you see up here, this kind of explains this. Luma phase is retrieve all dice, perform actions. The shadow phase is activate creatures, advance shadow marker. Start the Luma phase by retrieving all dice from the used dice space. For your first action, let's choose a light action and attempt to light a creature. Lighting a creature is a helpful way to prevent it from attacking you, stunning it momentarily with a flash of brilliant light. To light a creature, first pull the light card towards you and choose a creature you wish to light. Let's choose the Wildwoods because it will cause you to lose more spirit than the cry when it activates. After choosing which creature to light, count how many yellow dots are on the bottom left of the creature's card. There is 1 yellow dot. This is the number of successes you need in order to light the creature. The light card is currently in the 3+ space, and we need 1 success to light the Wildwoods. Choose to roll 2 dice and get at least 1 success. Done. Success. When you light a creature, first move it to the end of the river. Then place a stun token on the card. Now, when this creature activates, you won't lose spirit. Don't forget to finish your action and clean up the river. So we return these here, and then this comes down here, and all of this slides down. Remember, until crystals are spent, they stay on their action cards whenever the card moves in the river. Getting near the bottom. I wonder if it's going to have us do like scene 2 by ourselves. We still have 3 available dice, so let's attempt to heal a creature from the shadow by choosing the heal card. To heal a creature, you must gain successes equal to the number of red dots on the creature card. The heal card is currently in the 4+ space of the river, and you need 1 success to heal the cry. Roll your 3 remaining dice and get at least 1 success. So if we look at the cry, it's got the little 1 thing. And we got our successes. When you successfully heal a creature, first remove the creature from the river and place it face up on the creature discard. Then gain the number of crystals found on the bottom right of the creature card. So in this instance, 1. The cry rewards us with 1 crystal. For now, let's choose to also place it on the light card. We are stocking up on light, along with the others we placed previously. Each card can contain a maximum of 3 crystals. Finally, finish the action and clean up the river. It is now the shadow phase. The only creature to activate is the Wildwoods. Because the Wildwoods has a stun token on it, instead of losing spirit, we simply remove the stun token. Then follow the after activation effect as normal. Finally, clean up the river. The after activation is it goes to the end of the river. Then all this slides down. Then continue the shadow phase by advancing the shadow marker 1 space toward the center of the Wildwoods track. There are no shadow effects this time. It is now the start of another Luma phase. Oh, I forgot to clean that up. There we go. Now it's cleaned up. Another phase retrieves all your dice from the used dice space. Each action card also has a bottom ability you can choose to perform. For example, the heal card's bottom ability allows you to gain 1 spirit for each success, which moves your spirit marker to the left. For now, let's choose the Explore card. Its bottom ability says for each success, draw 1 Explore card. Choose 1 to keep and discard the others. Follow the same steps as before. Pull the card toward you, choose a number of dice to roll, and count successes. Roll 2 and get 2 successes. 2 successes. After the prologue, whenever you attempt the top ability of an action card and fail to gain enough successes by rolling the dice and spending crystals, you may always choose to perform the bottom ability instead by using the successes that you rolled. If you fail to get any successes, the attempt fails completely. Instead of resolving the effect, you would move that action card to the end of the river and clean up the river. Because you attempted the bottom ability Explore action card and gained 2 successes, draw 2 Explore cards. So here are my Explore cards. There are 2 types of Explore cards, Boons and Banes. Boons can be used to aid you while Banes will hinder you. Let's choose to keep the Berries Boon card. First, place it in your Boon area on the left dashboard. Then discard the Mud card by placing it face up in the Explore discard. Finally, clean up the river. So we did the Explore. Explore comes down here. These slide over. That goes there. And these come over there. Over the course of Luma's journey, you will add additional Boon and Bane cards to your Explore deck. Some of these cards represent companions, while others represent traumas. Now let's take a look at the final locations. Some locations, such as Onward, have a Wildwoods icon on them. So you'll see how it's kind of different. It's got almost that little gear look to it. In order to attempt these locations, the light marker must be on the center space of the Wildwoods track. So that needs to be there. To do this, let's perform the bottom ability of the light card. So light card bottom is for each success, advance the light marker 1 space. We need to move it 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. To do this, all right, for each success we gain, we'll advance the light marker 1 space towards the center of the right Wildwoods track. Because the light marker needs to move 4 spaces to reach the center of the Wildwoods track, and you only have 3 available dice remaining, now would be a good time to spend some crystals. Crystals on action cards can be spent to add 1 success per crystal, but only if you first roll at least 1 success. Roll all of your remaining dice and get at least 1 success. So I need it 4+, I got 2 successes. Then spend your crystals by returning them to crystal space until you have enough successes to move the light tracker to the center of the track. So I need to spend 2 of these crystals, and that will move this 1, 2, 3, and 4. In this example, we advance the light marker to the center space in a single action. However, you do not need to do this and can instead advance the light marker over multiple actions. Now that the light marker has reached the center space of the Wildwoods track, the only thing left for Luma to prevail is to resolve the onward location. Unfortunately, you have used all of your available dice, meaning another shadow phase begins. So let's go ahead and do our cleanup first. It didn't tell us to do that, but that's probably what we should do. Sliding all that down. Begin the shadow phase by activating the Wildwoods. It attacks, causing you to lose 3 spirit. Oh no, you are out of spirit. Whenever you run out of spirit, continue losing spirit from the start of the spirit track, then draw a shadow card. So we went 1, 2, 3. Drawing the final shadow card always ends the chapter. Thankfully, the ability on the Luma and Braun card can prevent us from drawing the final shadow card. Read the ability on the Luma and Braun card and follow the instructions. Instead of drawing the final shadow card, place Braum on top of the shadow discard pile with the protect side face up, then flip this card. Luma summoned her courage and confronted the shadows alone. During the Luma phase, you may spend crystals from any action card to reroll 1 die. With Braum holding off the shadow, we still need to follow the after activation effect on the Wildwoods and clean up the river. So he comes to the end. There we go. Then for the last step of the shadow phase, advance the shadow marker. If the shadow marker ever reaches the center space, even if the light marker is already there, the shadow prevails. It's only 1 space away. You can do this. Begin with the Luma phase by retrieving your dice and choosing the Explorer card to attempt the final Explorer action onward. Here's their Explorer, so we need 5 or plus. This will be difficult. Roll all 5 of your available dice and get at least 1 success to resolve the location. So I need at least 1 5. I have at least 1 5. Place a location marker on there. Then draw and read story card 2. First, read the section titled Luma Prevails at the top of the story. Wait, here we go. All right. Reflection. Was this a taste of things to come? What had afflicted these creatures and caused them to act so unnaturally? Is this what had frightened the deer? Luma pondered the encounter. Perhaps she and Braum could heal them. Heal the forest. It was not far away now. On play, Luma Prevails, then read the Luma Prevails section. So first, read the section titled Luma Prevails at the top. To resolve the onward location, travel to scene 2 into the dark. Congratulations, you've completed the scene and Luma has prevailed. You are now instructed to travel to scene 2 into the dark. To travel, we will follow the travel steps listed on the top of the right dashboard. Oh, this is our last card. All right. First, discard all creature cards from the river and place them face up in the creature discard pile. So discard creatures from river. Next, clean up the river. So we did that card, so let's go with that. And it shows this little picture down there, so yeah. Next, clean up the river. So clean up river, crystals stay on cards. Then, remove the light, shadow, and location markers from the scene. Turn the page to scene 2, into the dark, and continue the story. And nothing on that back. So that was that whole chapter deck. Luma sat on the bank of the river and rested her head against Braum's reassuring leg. She smiled as the Wildwoods happily dug up some thick roots from the sodden soil. Her light had cleansed the crimson shadows from the creature, but the act had drained her spirit. Every time she used the light, Luma drew closer to the brink, and she worried she might lose herself to the shadow. It made her feel frightened and abandoned, just like when the nightmare came to visit her in the dead of the night. In her heart, Luma understood that if the shadows continued to spread, it wouldn't just be the forest that suffered. Everything she loved would be in danger. The creature she cared for, her home at the river's edge, even Braum. The old bear heaved his body forward with a deflated sigh and nudged Luma gently. As his warmth reached her, Luma's dark thoughts began to subside, and a sense of calm returned to her heart. I am ready, Braum, Luma said, meeting his eyes. The bear peered at the looming forest and then back at Luma. He nodded, as he always did when she shared her visions and fears with him. With Braum by her side and a newfound light growing inside her, Luma gathered her courage and marched toward the unknown. Something, or someone, called her to heal the forest. She must be ready to face whatever shadows awaited, but with each step, the weight of responsibility grew heavier and her nerves started to get the better of her again. Luma held on to Braun tighter and tighter with each passing step as her old doubts returned. If I fail, everything will be lost. So that is scene 2. So now, congratulations on completing the prologue. Take the rules referenced from the game box and place it nearby. So that would be that big old book. It is a helpful guide to remind you of the rules you just learned in the prologue. Set aside the Luma card, Brahm card, and the 4 action cards. These will continue with you from now on. Return all other cards to the game box. Chapter 1 will provide you with a new deck of cards during chapter setup. Return all crystals, location markers, and stun tokens to their supply spaces. Turn the page to chapter 1, Howls in the Wind, to set up the first chapter. So as I said, that was the first one. So let's go ahead and put these back in here. I'm not going to move on to the first chapter yet. Like I said, if that's something you all would like me to continue doing, let me know down below. Instead, what I'm about to do is I'm going to show you how you go about saving a game. 16, 17, 18. There we go. So I put that all back together. So then in this rules reference, they have how you go about saving the game. To save the game, you are going to grab your little thing right here. So the first thing you would do is you're going to place the shadow discard pile, if there is one, on top of the deck. You're going to place the explore discard pile and the creature discard pile face up on all of their decks. So the remaining deck is face down on the bottom and the discard pile is face up on top. Gather your Luma and Brahm card, if it is still in the Brahm space, and any cards in your boon area, and place them face up on top of the chapter deck. So we don't have a chapter deck right now because we haven't started a chapter. This is where you can kind of save between scenes. You then would take all these decks and place them in here. So this is simply going to be like that. You're going to take any crystals you have, place them in the assorted spot. Then you're going to place these where they are, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6. And then you are going to place this token where it was at there. You're then going to grab the box. You're going to take any dice you have unlocked, put them in the well. If you had unlocked one of the D10 or D12, you'd place it with there. Otherwise, you're going to place it up there to signify that you haven't unlocked it. And you're going to put all of your tokens back here into the tray. Let's go ahead and put our prologue cards right back in here while we're at it. You can put your lid on top of there. And then what you're going to do is, so we're on chapter 1, you're going to take your flaps, you're going to fold them in as bookmarkers, and then fold your book. And then you'll be able to open right to where you're ready to go for the next chapter or the next scene, if that's when you're stopping is after a scene. All right, so that is the initial, like I said, prologue of Storyfold. So that showed you basically what's inside and how it plays. If you do want to see more instances of this again, let me know down below, or just make sure a bunch of people view it, and then I'll know people are interested in watching this. But if I could get you to go down below when you make that comment, you can also please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring the bell on the channel so if I do more of these, you are alerted, and all that other fun YouTube shenanigans. If you're looking at purchasing board games, possibly even this one, you can check out Miniature Market. We have a link down in our description below, where if you use that link, we do get a portion of the sales back here to the channel. Or if you need some energy to get through Storyfold, you can go ahead and check out Dubby. Use our code MEEPLES at dubby.gg, or a link down below to go ahead and get a discount and give us credit. It is a powdered energy drink to put some pep in your step. Alrighty, so let's help find the light.